Okay, guys, so we're going to be working on 1.3 order of operations, okay? So order of operations are something we've dealt with before, but we're going to go into one of our favorite terms in math, and that is BEDMAS, okay? So BEDMAS standing for brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So BEDMAS is what we use whenever we're trying to figure out any mathematical equation that includes a bunch of these operations. We're just going to make sure that we do them in order. So we always do our brackets first, our exponents second, and then we either do division or multiplication depending on what happens first. And then once we've dealt with both of those, we deal with addition and subtraction. And again, we deal with whatever one happens first or the order they appear, which is left to right. So yesterday we worked on integer work, whether it was addition or subtraction of integers, and also multiplication and division of integers. So in this case, we're going to have to do some of that, but work at our order of operations. So if we look at the first question, we're going to ask ourselves, if we just had BEDMAS, does it have brackets? Well, yes, it has brackets, so we must deal with that first. So if we look at inside of our brackets, nothing really needs to be done, and there is no exponents. So then we go to, do we do division or multiplication? Well, in this case, we only have multiplication, so we will do that first before completing the addition or subtraction that is here. So our first two terms, -2 and -6, since they're in two brackets beside each other, we know we need to multiply. So two negative numbers, it's going to be a positive integer, and -2 times -6 is +12. And we have our addition sign. But before we add them, we have to use our multiplication in the other bracket. So 5 times -2. And in this case, that would equal, since we have different signs, a negative number, and that being 10. Since we then have two brackets we've done the multiplication, we then need to deal with the addition or subtraction. And in this case, remember when we look at these two signs, since they are the opposite, it's going to become basically subtraction. So 12 minus 10, giving us the answer of 2. All right. So the next question is very similar to the last one. So again, we have brackets, but we don't have to do anything within the brackets. We don't have exponents, but we do have multiplication. So we're going to deal with multiplication first. So -7 times -7 times 5. We have opposite, so therefore it's going to be negative, and that being 35. And then subtract our next one being 3 multiplied by -4 is -12. And in this case, if we look at these two signs, they are the same, so it will be adding 12. So -35 plus 12 is equal to -23. Okay. So those ones are pretty straightforward, but when we get into our next couple examples, we have to really take into consideration BEDMAS, okay? So we have 10 plus 8 divided by 4. Well, we don't have any brackets, we don't have any exponents, but we do have division. So we're actually going to do the division first. So 10 plus, we're going to worry about 8 divided by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is that first thing we do, and that being 2. So it would be 10 plus 2, and our answer would be 12. Because we dealt with the division first, and then we go to do the subtraction afterwards. If we look at our next example, we have bracket 7 minus 4 times bracket minus 10. So we need to deal with our brackets first. Okay, so 7 minus 4 is 3 multiplied by negative 10. So 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. All right. So our last question here, we're gonna have to deal with all of the little things in BEDMAS. So brackets, well, there's brackets, and there's actually brackets within the brackets. So we're gonna deal with the brackets within the brackets first. There's no exponents, there's no division, but there is some multiplication because we have a number beside a bracket, and then we have addition and subtraction. So if we think about it, we have to deal with this first, okay? So if I write that out, it will be 32 minus 12, and then 5 minus 3 being 2, plus 4, end bracket. And then our next step, since we've dealt with that one bracket, is we have to deal with this inside the bracket. And since that's multiplication, it would then be 32 subtract 12 times 2 is 24 plus 4. Now, still dealing inside the bracket, we must complete this. So 24 plus 4 is 28. And then we'd be left with 32 minus 28 is the answer of 4. So our answer would be 4. So this is just some simple refreshers on the order of operations and specifically BEDMAS. We've gone through multiple examples, and now it's for you guys to work on that 1.3 assigned work on the order of operations.